Hello, gang. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here for our first sugar survival series. That's what we're calling this, the sugar survival series. What we want to do here is get you through the holidays without worrying about sugar. Here's the goal. Look, so a lot of people want to start on New Year's. Okay, they want to start on New Year's Day or whatever, the day after New Year's, the Monday after New Year's. They want to start after New Year's, right? But really, what we want to do is we want to get you through the holidays so that you're ready to start. And if you binge on the holidays, you're going to end up, uh, worse in a 10 pounds heavier on January the 1st. So we don't want that. So what I'd like you to do now is ask any questions. First of all, put in the chat where you're calling in from, and then we're going to answer any questions that you have. Okay, we want to build this thing up so that every Monday before the holidays here, we are here to answer your questions. So who's got a question? Tell us where you're calling in from and what your question is. Like this while you're here, like this event and share it, if you will. But subscribe to the channel as well. These kinds of things, those are the things that help get more reach. Okay, so we're adding people every minute here. I like this a lot. This is cool, but nobody's asking any questions. So jump in and ask a question. Love to see what your questions are. The short version of all this is, yes, you probably might need to detox. You might need to detox from sugar a little bit, but in the long run, you might need some support, which is where we come in. We have our upcoming Quit Sugar Summit. Nicole wants to know, how can a CGM help us quit sugar? Maybe perfect timing to ask that question. So we have right here, we've got Lingo, which is at hellolingo.com. It's a glucose biosensor. And we've got Stello. Lingo only works on Apple right now, but it's going to be on Android. Stello actually works on both phones, but they're close. Personally, if you have an Apple, I think the Lingo is a little bit better. And what this is a biosensor. You don't need a prescription for this. You don't need a doctor to tell you have diabetes. And what it'll do is if you just grab one, you can grab them for 2 weeks for less than $50. And just for this event, if you'll grab one of those at Hello Lingo, if you want to put that in the chat, we can do that. Hellolingo.com, and the other one is at Stello.com, STLO.com, STLELO.com. If you go there and buy it for less than $50, I'll give you just email me at Michael@Sugar Addiction, and I will give you a free entrance to the 30-day challenge, which will get you started. And you can start it now, or you can start it now and restart it in January 1st, whatever you want to do. Okay. But a continuous glucose monitor is just a little patch. It goes on your arm, just like a little nicotine patch. Little filament goes in, and you want to do it for 2 weeks. You want to do like a baseline for 2 weeks. And that baseline is what you eat right now. Okay. Just your diet, whatever it is. Don't try and, game the system. And then the next 2 weeks, you want to start your detox. You want to start, and these would be very interesting things to have on during during the holidays. So if you can order, honest to gosh, I think it's one of the best stocking stuffers in the world, a continuous glucose monitor. So for you folks that are just joining us, go to hellolingo.com and check it out and get yourself a free 30-day challenge just by sending me an email at michael@sugaraddiction.com, or go to Stello.com. It's spelled, there you go, STELO. Okay. And I'll also send you my book, my $10 book on Amazon, if you grab one of those and send me the receipt from Lingo or Stello. They're amazing tools to watch that blood sugar. Okay. You can see in real time what happens to your blood sugar. So you eat something, your blood sugar gets jacked up. The question is, does it come right back down? That means you're pretty healthy. But if it stays up there a long time, then you might have some insulin resistance, okay? So check those out. Very cool, great question. Who's next? Wants to jump in, ask a question? It's all for you guys. Anything you want to ask, I'm here to get the question answered for you. This is a Q&A format so that you can always know that you can, if you make it through a weekend, or if you don't make it through a weekend, we can answer your questions on Monday. Especially since holidays are on Wednesday this year, there'll always be parties and whatever. Who's got another question we can jump in and answer? Don't be shy, gang. It's hard to have no airtime or be a disc jockey with no airtime. We keep gaining people, but we don't gain any questions. So jump right in there, tell us what's going on, and we'll answer your question for you. You can also write me at michael@sugaraddiction.com each time. How many days does the lingo cover? That's a great question. So the lingo, that's the Stelo. The lingo, they're all about 14 or 15 days, okay? It's a glucose biosensor, all right? It's about 14 days each unit, okay? Stelo, I think you have to buy for the entire month. That's another one of its downfalls, although this is on Android. You'll be able to do Stelo on Android, okay? You see the little patch right there, okay? That's the patch. What it looks like, just goes on your arm. It's not very big. But about each one is about each sensor is about 14 days. Now, how does it work? It literally syncs up with your phone, and you can watch in real time what time or what your blood sugar is. It's actually magic. You can actually see the inside of your your body and how the food is treating you, and how exercise treats you, and how sleep treats you. Okay, so all are very, very important as far as the your overall health. Great question, Beth. Any follow-up questions, gang? Love to have you answer any questions. We're still gaining folks, but we're not gaining any questions. So there's not that many folks, but it keeps getting bigger. But if you have a question, for those folks that are just joining us, tell us where you're calling in from and ask a question, any question you have. Anything about sugar addiction, sugar detox. Yeah, so we're getting a few likes. Please like this video while you're here, if you're on YouTube. Love this video. I like that. Thank you very much, whoever did that one. And also subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It helps get it out so that, next Monday we'll have a lot of people, a lot of questions. So please jump in. Oh, we got another love. You guys are the best. Keep them coming. Appreciate that. Like and subscribe. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on YouTube. We're here for both of them. All righty. Keep them coming. This is, again, your time. Leah wants to know, can you tell me more about the 30-day reset? Yeah, for sure. Look, what happened, I've been doing this for a decade, helping people detox from sugar. We've done tens of thousands of detoxes. And let me drop in the chat. Maybe my man there can drop in the chat, and I'll show you where I'll be able to show you. That's one of the things, is being able to show you the screen, my friend there, Tajul. Let me get the link for you so that you have a link so that you understand what I'm telling you here. And I'll have him drop it right in the chat. That would be really cool. So my manager, my producer can drop this in the chat if he would. So basically the 30-day challenge, it's a 30-day challenge, and the 30-day challenge is me. Now I've redone this 4 times, gang, because we kept getting better at it. We've done over 10,000 of these. And the detox is me coming into your video, into your inbox every week, every day for 30 days. And a lot of people, like, you have access, you have lifetime access. Okay. You can go and you're in there forever. So some people come back. So you could start it, kind of play with it, check it out, and then really start it in earnest on January 1st, if that's what you want to do. But, you know, best to get it now to get educated and to get your crew together. Now, along with the 30 videos, you have 4 to 5 Zoom meetings a day of support, all facilitated by trained coaches, which is awesome, man. You just grab the, just go to your calendar, click on the link and find it. You can put it in your Google Calendar to remind you, and just go to the meeting and listen in. You don't have to turn on your camera. You don't have to do anything. Hopefully you'll participate sooner or later, no problem. But we would love to have you. We're going to put this in the chat. So just, jump over there and check it out. It's less than $100. It's like one of the best values in the world. You can see, the thousands of written testimonials that we have of people that have succeeded. So a really, really good group of people, dare I say, the most loving group of people on the internet, who've all been through this before. Okay. They've all been challenged by this thing, this dang sugar, All right. So for you folks that have just joined us, please, there it is on the scrolling on the bottom, the 30-day challenge. He's going to put that in the, I think I'm missing a little bit of that, but if you put the full link in there. Shelly, how do you encourage people that have cravings? Our environment plays as a role, but we want to stay social and in control at the same time. What a great question. Okay, so again, like and share this video, or love and share this video. I like that. So here's the thing. The two of the things that I study the most about this sugar addiction stuff is cravings and denial. Okay, cravings and denial. People are, who the hell wants to do this, gang, if you're going to be craving sugar all the time, right? Who wants to do it if you're craving, like, just can't get it out of your mind, or you're always craving sugar, right? So here's the thing. We're here to help people live regular, normal lives, social lives. Okay. A lot of this, there is some quote unquote reprogramming. You're going to have to help tell your family that you're not able to, maybe not have sugar for a while. You're going to reset your sugar palate, if you will. You're going to reset your taste buds, which reset pretty quickly, like in 10 days, if you actually get abstinent. The problem is most people have never actually had any abstinence, right? They've never had any time away from sugar. They just continue. It probably started in the womb, but maybe less more than that. But anyway, people just keep using sugar. And the way that we do it is likely you're not going to be able to do it with your friends and family. So that's why we have 4 and 5 support meetings a day. You have to join another tribe, another group of people who really, understands this or enjoys this, okay? Who have convinced themselves that they really want to change their life, to change their weight or change their health, all right? And so you build this group. We call them sugar buddies. We used to call them sugar buddies, but sugar buddies sounded too much like drinking buddies, so we changed it to sugar support buddies. And you get, we have friends all over the world, literally, and a lot of people have met in person. You get this group of people. It happened when you went to college. It happened when you went into your new career. You got a new group of friends, and they help teach you this business or this, this school or whatever. Same thing here. It's the only look. If you were had cancer, you joined a cancer support group, a cancer survivors group. your chances go through the roof of your long-term survival on sugar, or I mean, from cancer, opposed to the folks who try and go it alone, right? Well, the same thing here. It's the only thing that's ever worked in drugs and alcohol. Most of the people that come to us have tried everything. I mean, hell, the name of my book is The Last Resort Sugar Detox. You can get it free on my website at sugaraddiction.com, or you can get it at um, on Amazon for free too. Just go to Amazon and download the book. It's free. Um, but the reason I call it The Last Resort Sugar Detox is we're the last house on the block. This is where everyone has, they've already tried everything, okay? They've tried everything, and now they're here because they finally understand that sugar is their Achilles heel. This is what really has been holding them back, okay? So we're here to help any way we can. I can answer all the questions that you want right here. Who's got another question? Great question, Shelley. The cravings, you know, like I said, who wants to do this if you have cravings? You do have, as far as your environment, you do have to clean out the kitchen and the pantry a little bit. But if you don't live alone and you have a family, there's a, you know, it gets more difficult, right? Especially also eating out. It's hard. You never know what's in the sauces or anything, the salad dressings and what have you. So, all righty, keep it coming. Who's next? Wants to jump in? Tell us what's going on with you. Ask a question. That is awesome. Thank you, Leah. I appreciate that. Kathy, went to church Christmas dinner last night and there was a candy all over the table. I cannot sit there for 2 hours and not give in to the stem song of chocolate candy. Am I an addict? Help. Kathy, what a great question. And I thank you for your vulnerability and your honesty as far as all of this goes, because first of all, it's not my job to call people addicts, okay? Now, I have my own opinions, and I can pretty much spot an addict from 50 paces if they just give me a little bit of information, which we do on our intake calls for coaching. And I can spot it from, you know, like I said, from 100 yards away now. But what I do and what we can do for you is, my only job is to get you 90 days of abstinence, so that for the first time in your life, you can see what your body, your brain, your emotional life, your spiritual life does without sugar. I always love the analogy that your body is like a tuning fork, right? Your body, your psyche, your prayer, meditation practice is like a tuning fork, right? I can't make a tuning fork, but you don't understand what I'm saying. And you're not getting the best signal from the universe or from God or whatever your belief system is if if you're depleting it with sugar. Okay. It's just, the question of whether or not you're an addict is answered much more easily if you give yourself 30, 60, or 90 days with no sugar. Okay. That's when you finally understand that if you accidentally or on purpose have some sugar, you'll start to see this rush of high. You feel like a little high, like the kids when the birthday cake and ice cream comes out, the 5 and 6-year-old kids that start running around. You start feeling a little bit off. You feel a little sick to your stomach. You got a headache. You might sweat that night. There's a lot of different symptoms that, if you've been on it every single day for most of your life, you don't feel. You're just trying to fight off withdrawals. Most adults are just trying to fight off withdrawals, right? So how to diagnose yourself as an addict? We're not really big on labeling and stuff, but I do believe, the term addict has been scrubbed from the government websites, and addiction has been scrubbed from the government websites and whatever, because it's very stigmatizing. I mean, hell, my name on my website is sugaraddiction.com, so I might have to change that. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's what people recognize. And what I've discovered over a decade of doing this is that a lot of people um, uh, they don't want to be addicts, first of all, right? And they shy away, they recoil at the name addict, right? They don't want to be called an addict. We don't You can call yourself anything you like, but the real fact is that about a third of adults biochemically cannot ingest this product, sugar, without setting up cravings for more sugar, okay? And so it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. You have blue eyes, I have brown eyes. It doesn't really matter. You just have to realize that maybe, just maybe, you might be someone who might not be able to ingest sugar safely or without setting up more cravings for more and having it cause problems with your weight and your health. Okay. So please, if this is something you're curious about, obviously spending your time with me on a Monday night, this might be something you're interested in. Um, try our 30-day challenge. There's a link over there. Try and see, just go to Quit Sugar Summit. I'll put another link in, but and I'll have more links the next time we do this. I didn't really prepare to, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm here to answer every Monday. I'll be here to answer your questions. And it's basically kind of like our support meetings are, where you ask the facilitator and you tell them what's going on with you. So great question, Kathy. I thank you for asking it. Anybody else? Beth, amazing sugar. Thank you, Beth. Thank you very much. Beth's one of our longtime people and really fought a good fight for a long time and really has recovered. Do you believe sugar addiction recovery is possible? And if you so, do you believe it's a lifelong commitment to abstinence, which is just controlling one's use of sugar? So this is a kind of a, how shall I say, a question fraught with nuance, a question fraught with different answers. And, the answer is maybe. For a lot of people, it's just maybe. Maybe you may have to do it for the rest of your life. Is sugar recovery possible? Absolutely. We have thousands of people, thousands of written testimonials, tens of thousands of people who have changed their relationship with sugar over the time period. Now, one of the problems, my pet peeves out there in the world, is because sugar addiction got kind of hot from the work of Dr. Lustig and other people, is that, every gym and fitness and supplement person in the world, every doctor and functional medicine person and every chiropractor, they've all, everybody online has added a sugar detox to their group of things that they sell, only because it's hot. The problem is that's a diet. Okay. That is another diet. You're not going to get recovery. You're not going to get a long-term change. Look, you guys know the numbers as well as I do. 95% of all people who lose any amount of weight gain it all back in the first year and then some. They add some. Okay. And here's the problem. Here's the answer to why that happens. Okay. So just look, let's pretend that you're, say it's the first of the year. Okay. Or now, whatever. The most successful people honestly do it before Christmas. So they're ready for the first of the year. They've tapered down a little bit. They've had a little maybe over the holidays and, their aunt's cake or whatever. But then on January 1st, they're ready. But let's just say that's you, and January 1st, you start. And then you lose 15 or 20 pounds. Now it's like April or May, okay, whatever, June, July, whatever. It's, in the middle of the year. And you don't think to yourself, well, I'm just going to have a beer because it's, I've had a rough week. It's not conscious like that, okay? What it is you think you have one of those cravings. And then those cravings says, you're at your sister's wedding and you say, I'll just have a little bit of cake because I've lost 20 or 30 pounds, right? And then you're off to the races again. You guys may have experienced this before, right? This may be something you've already done in your life. And the reason that happens is sugar addiction is real, okay? Sugar addiction is very real, and it's deadly. It was deadly for my mother, and it's deadly for a lot of people. And the way to change it is to just try to reset. And the only way you can use two words, reset or heal. And healing is really important. To heal up from sugar means you're healing up from inflammation in your hands, in your knees, in your joints, okay? Your elbows, your tennis elbow. You'd just be amazed. Again, my only job in life is to get people to 90 days so that they can make their own decisions. I can't tell you if you're an addict. I do believe recovery is possible, Beth, because I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times, thousands actually. But I've worked one-on-one with people hundreds of times as well. So anyway, hope that answered the question. And this, people get a little weird about abstinent, okay? Zero sugar. But you don't have to do that if there's a second group of people. Those 1/3 of people can't have sugar, but there's another third of people that likely you may fall into. That group of people, if they get a little reset, they can have a little sugar on their birthday. They can have a little sugar at Christmas or Halloween or whatever. But what happens if they heal up? If you heal up, what happens is you actually feel bad. You get an upset stomach. You may sweat that night. You're a little blue, a little depressed the next day. So you don't want to do that, okay? Yeah, it's a tough one, but the only way to do it is to have a guide and to have a group of people that have done it before you and to help you out. Kathy wants to know, is staying home and being antisocial the only solution? No, not at all. I can go anywhere in the world and have gone all over the world with people, in restaurants and relatives and people offering me stuff. And I just say, one of the most important parts of this is, and I'm not going to pull any punches here, gang. This is not a diet. Most people come to me for a weight loss plan, usually 85% of them, and they want a diet plan and an exercise plan because you all have been brainwashed by the $78 billion diet industry to eat less and exercise more, okay? But in reality, this is a personal change and transformation program that allows you to set boundaries, say no, go out in public and not be antisocial. Here's the thing that nobody believes, okay? First of all, nobody knows or cares that you're eating sugar. They don't care, okay? They don't pay attention to it. They're not thinking about it. And you don't have anything to worry after a while. Now, once your close group of people, you're going to eventually have to tell them. But most of all, these folks are, they're in their own world. They don't care. The hard part is to ask the server over and over, like, does this salad dressing have sugar in it? I can't have sugar on my marinade, all that kind of thing. And that takes some practice and it takes some saying no. In essence, it takes a codependency recovery program to kind of set your boundaries and stick up for yourself. Now, most of our customers, clients are women between 40 and 80 or 90, okay? And they've just always taken care of their family, their friends, their spouse, their job, their boss, and they've neglected themselves. And so they feel guilty when they take time for themselves or get some kind of self-help or program or transformation program, even though they would feel better, a little bit less weight on them, weight a little bit less. So anyway, good question, Kathy. Who's next? Guys, like and subscribe to the channel, please. It really does help push this out to the algorithm so that more people can listen. I'm using a function called StreamYard. I really, really enjoy, because we are now going live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So it's a real fancy program. And what we'd like to do is get this up to a couple hundred people by Christmas time, that Monday before Christmas, or the Monday before the holiday, before the office parties the week before Christmas, okay? So like and share it, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. I just saw a question and it disappeared. Where'd it go? Oh, Leah was talking about having support. Thank you, Leah. Appreciate that. All righty. And the community is where the secret sauce lies. Yes, the community, and I got some inside information, gang, and hopefully we'll be one of the beta testers, is that here on YouTube, we already, if you're in my Facebook group or if you're on my Facebook page, you're already in the community. Make sure you go to the Facebook groups. And again, we'll have links for these next time in the show notes, and we'll always have them each time. But remind me there, my producer man, and we'll put those in the show notes so you always have them. So you can either do the challenge or you can go to the Quit Sugar Summit. All of these things that we do, go to our Facebook group. But as Ann says, and this is hard because some people are not joiners. They're not, they kind of like, they're not a joiner. They're not into that stuff, which is fine. But at the end of the day, just finding one friend who has traveled your road, who's lost some weight or put type 2 diabetes in remission, that you can speak honestly to, who you can talk to, is worth their weight in gold. It's worth the weight of the program. It's worth the weight of change. Look, honest to God, gang. So 20% of the people that call me for coaching about sugar are crying. Okay. They're crying because they've never heard this story of, they don't think I've ever heard the story where they've thrown something in the garbage, they poured dishwashing liquid over it, and then they came back an hour later and cut the dishwashing liquid off, and then they ate the rest of the cake or whatever, the cookies. They don't think I've ever heard this story before. They're ashamed of it. And I can understand that. One of the reasons I kind of like this format, on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram like this, is because you get to, you get to ask your questions a little bit anonymously. You get to listen in. Oh, the little secret sauce that I was going to tell you is that YouTube is now creating what you see on Facebook groups and what you see on, Facebook groups or our group on school. Is there going to be a community for pages like ours, or for, channels like ours, which I think is super exciting, because community, as Ann says, is kind of the secret of this whole process. Okay. And it's really amazing, actually. I mean, dare I say that if I haven't said it already, it bears repeating. Our group is the most loving group on the internet, of any kind, because once you've been through this and, you gained and lost a lot of weight, or put type 2 diabetes in remission, you were scared to death. When you get back, when you're back, you're like put type 2 in remission, or you lost 100 pounds. We had so many people lose 100 pounds, gang, you wouldn't believe it. It's amazing. So anyway, who's got another question? I'm really loving this, really enjoying it. It's working out very well for our first event. Hopefully you guys will spread this around to your friends and family. And, by Christmas time, we'll have a couple hundred people here, and we can really, move forward on this, and, help. I really do want to do this. If we get enough upvotes, if we get enough likes and shares, both on Facebook and on YouTube and on Instagram, I'm thinking about doing this every day through the holidays. Now, put it in the comments if you would like us to do it every day during the holidays and be here. No charge. If you want to join us, that's fine, but no charge here. Really, we're building to the Quit Sugar Summit. You can go to the quitsugarsummit.com right now. It's quitsugarsummit.com. You can see the beginning of it there in the chat. You just don't put the 30-day challenge after it. Just go to, where is it? I'll get it right now. quitsugarsummit.com. And then and give us your name, and we'll tell you about it. We've got 47 speakers already. Starts on January 6th, totally free. Check that out. There you go, quitsugarsummit.com. I put that other question up. I didn't get that question there to Jewel. I'm sorry, I missed that question from Shelley. This has become true for me with with alcohol, it's lifestyle change, and it began with focusing on how I wanted to feel clear, unencumbered, all the thinking, make the voices in alcohol and sugar smaller. Yeah, 100%. Look, again, as I said earlier, who the heck wants to do this if you're renting free space? It's always that, should I, stop at the 7-Eleven? Should I have ice cream? Should I not eat the cookie? Should I only have one? I mean, it's like hours a day that you're focused or, worried about this stuff, thinking about it, thinking about your weight and your health, right? Just imagine being free of all that. Just imagine being not having that to worry about, right? We all got enough to worry about, right? Not to worry about whether or not you're going to eat this or that, how much it's going to cost. I mean, the money alone, if you do the math, it's just crazy. The money alone of how much people actually spend on sugar products, it's definitely a car payment a month, definitely, and a nice car. For some people, it approaches a mortgage payment, okay, or a rent payment, right? So, gang, please, I don't know, you guys can give me feedback on how to get to more people, because the folks that you're seeing, obviously, some of them know our work, and I love them to death, and they've been helping spread the message because they've kind of walked through this with us, all right? So if you're new, and there's quite a few of you on the line now, I can see that from my little dashboardy thing here. Think about joining us. Definitely join us for the summit. Who's next? Who's got another question? Thank you so much, Shelley. The lifestyle change, Beth. Beth just celebrated 1 year no sugar and flour. She feels so good. Yeah, I mean, we've got so many folks that have changed their life because of this, and we want you guys to be one of them. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you. We want to make sure you get notified every time. If we do go daily, we'll have that ready. If we don't, we'll be here every Monday. Ellen says, I find that I don't eat any sugar. I now immediately get heartburn. Look at that. Burning. My digestive says, I don't like this. Such a great perspective. I'm someone who's been around a little bit. Is because once you heal up, once you realize what you're doing to your body, that it's truly a toxin, okay? It's a neurotoxin. It's a brain toxin, gang. It's a toxin in your brain that is upsetting your nervous system, your digestive system, your joints. I mean, it causes inflammation, period, end of story, okay? Sugar causes inflammation. Everybody is all worried about the weight gain, and it's important. Also, people believe that their knees hurt because of their extra weight, when in reality, your knees hurt because of the sugar that's decimating your cartilage, okay? And the uric acid that's getting stuck in your joints, right? Heartburn, GERD, they call it, I think. Lots of those things are definitely they just go away, just like magic, All righty, who's next? Wants to jump in, ask a question, throw a like or a comment up there. Sharon, what sets you apart from other sugar support programs? Oh, she's giving me the hard one. So let me get a quick drink of water. Welcome to the folks who just joined us. Keep people coming in and out. I love it. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It does help us use the algorithm to push this out to more people. What sets you apart from other sugar support programs? So what sets us apart, I think, is experience, first of all. Also, we just got named to the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaches, certified by them to teach their continuing education. We have the first sugar group there, and definitely the first sugar addiction group in general in the Health National Board. The National Board is a nonprofit and is probably the most respected. group out there. And the reason they were able to do that simply is that we've been doing this for over a decade, since 2009. And we've been coaching people to do this. And we're just, at this juncture, Sharon, honestly, and everybody listening, it's just pattern recognition. Okay. It's just a recognition that, you know, I can tell pretty much between days 10 and 15 and 20, right at day 15, about what's going to happen is you're going to be like, Mike, I'm losing my mind. Like, you're just going to start you're going to be weepy. You're going to be like uncontrollably emotional. You're going to be maybe a little blue, a little bit depressed. And the problem is that through your life, probably in the womb, starting in the womb, but definitely as a little kid, you've used sugar to make you feel just a little bit better. Okay. You know the term comfort food, right? Well, and also you've seen or heard about, if you study this stuff at all, emotional eating, like worrying about emotional eating, right? And everybody's pretty honest about the fact that, you know, somebody breaks up with them, they have an ice cream party or whatever with their friends. Most people understand the concept of emotional eating, right? Well, we take it a step farther and we tackle the physical, biochemical, mental aspects of the addictive nature of a very strong psychoactive drug. Okay. And I think that's the big difference for us. All right. And that is, again, from experience. It's pattern recognition at this point. It's that we've just done it so many times. And we have this infrastructure of 30 some odd meetings a week, all staffed by, here's the crazy part. These are not outside coaches that we pay and bring in. 80% of our coaches that facilitate our meetings have quit sugar through our systems, and then just were so happy they wanted to help others. You know, the old phrase, teach what you need to learn kind of thing. They've helped heal themselves further by helping others. And our whole infrastructure is like that ecosystem. The same thing is happening in our groups. Like, somebody with 3 days can help somebody with 1 day. Somebody with 3 weeks can help somebody with 3 days, you know. And, you know, you can communicate with one another either in the Facebook groups or the paid groups, doesn't matter. Whichever group you want to join, just join a group. Okay. You can go to Facebook and search my picture of my book or whatever. Sugar Detox Support Group is called what it's called. Or you can, you know, go to the Quit Sugar Summit link there and look for a, you know, if you want to get our larger programs. But there's just a lot of help. That's what sets us apart, and a lot of group support that sets us apart. Thank you. Great question. All right, Sharon, our gang, who's up next? Loving these questions. I've been talking continuously for 40 minutes. Didn't know I was actually capable of doing that, so that's good. Does eating sugar substitutes like stevia, does it still make you crave sugar? Okay, so you want to go there, right, Caitlin? Okay, Carlin. So look, this is a hard one, and I get a little pushback on this one with the monk fruits and the stevias and the alluloses and whatever. But here's the problem, okay? What happens is the folks, when the body gets the sweet taste, see, what you're fighting against in the early days is not necessarily the sugar itself and the dopamine hit, which you are, but you're fighting against that sweet taste. Because when you get the sweet taste, your body says to itself, where's the calories? Where's the energy, right? And yes, it won't go up on your glucose monitor, right? You eat an artificial sweetener, and you're not going to go and jack your glucose monitor up at all, but you're going to be setting up cravings. You're going to keep the cravings alive, right? That's what you do not want to do. You don't want to keep the cravings alive. And that's what sweeteners do. Your tongue, if you abstain from sweet for 10, 15, 20 days, it happens in as short as 10 or 11 days, where your taste buds change and you're not attracted to sweet anymore. And the initial part of our reset, if you will, our elimination diet, our healing diet, is there's really nothing to sweeten. Okay. You know, we're not big on a lot of fruit. I mean, you can eat a little fruit, little berries and whatever, but the artificial sweeteners, forget about dried fruit and fruit juice. That's worse than a Coca-Cola, genuinely. Um, so the substitutes do keep the cravings alive. They make you crave sugar. And again, how can I tell this? Because we've done 10,000 plus detoxes, guys. More than 10,000. My book has been downloaded 21,000 times. There's 20,000 people in the Facebook group all every day doing this, trying to, get off sugar. And we just see that pattern over and over and over and over and over again. And people want to keep their little sweetener for their tea or whatever. They want to try and figure out how to bake something that doesn't have sugar in it. But I'm telling you, if you really, the people that we attract, Carlin, the people that we attract are really people who want to self-actualize. If you went to college and took any sociology or whatever, a guy named Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What they came up with is that people want to be the best person that they possibly can be. And that is our group, people that really want to become the best person that they can, best athlete, the best mom, the best boss, the best entrepreneur, the best lawyer, doctor, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The folks that are attracted are the people, maybe I should say the people that succeed are the people who really want to succeed at this, whatever it is. And this health and diet thing has been so perplexing for people for so long. It's so confusing to people because it's failed for most, obviously, with the numbers, with a third of people obese, a third overweight. That's 2/3 of the population having difficulty with this. And that every diet book on the planet says, don't eat the white stuff. But a lot of the books and a lot of the programs say you can do these sugar substitutes, right? You can't, gang. You just can't. For now, at the beginning, just for a little bit. Again, my only job in life is to make sure you see that 90 days of health and healing for yourself. You guys got me talking my voice out. Who's next? Sharon, do you recommend use of a Keto Mojo? I've been eating mostly carnivore since June and wondering if I should buy more strips. What role do you believe ketosis plays in sugar addiction recovery? Okay, so you guys may be on the one podcast that, or the one live that is Mike announcing that what Sharon just said is something I believe in very heavily, okay? Keto Mojo is something that measures something called ketones. Okay, so ketones are produced when you eat a mostly ketogenic diet. And as opposed to a high carb, ultra processed food sugar diet, okay? That's mostly animal products. And, I'm pretty close to carnivore myself. And yes, I do believe at the beginning, you need to figure out where ketosis is, what you need to do to achieve it. I think it's super important. So yeah, I think that if they operate on strips, I think the Keto Mojo is like the continuous glucose monitor. There's newer ones that are going to have them built in. Even the ones that I showed you, the Lingos, they're going to have a one unit that has both ketones and glucose monitor in it. They're not out yet, I don't think, but yes, the understanding what ketosis is and getting yourself into ketosis is a wonderful thing, both for mental and physical health, right? There's so much science now about what role ketosis, what role lack of ultra processed carbohydrates plays on your mental health. I'm talking ADHD, uh, uh, schizophrenia, bipolar, depression. The science is very clear, and we'll talk about it in the Quit Sugar Summit real soon. But yeah, I mean, it's a super important part, I believe. A lot of my contemporaries will not work with vegetarians. I don't want to scare anyone off, but and if I start seeing numbers drop, then I know we had a few on there. But um, simply because the brain, the myelation in the brain, the healing that you need to do in the brain um, comes from cholesterol. It comes from the fat. Okay, your brain is mostly fat, and you really do need to have that for your, most of this is really about mental wellness. Okay, this is a brain disease. The brain is literally has holes in it. When you eat too much sugar, it shrinks your brain. Uh-oh, it looks like we lost a few vegetarians. I'm sorry. No, it does. It shrinks your brain. Okay. And again, I always say, if you want to get off sugar, study fructose. And people don't realize that the hybridization of fruit and of vegetables has really been a huge problem for people who are vegetarian or don't eat any animal products, right? They don't eat any eggs, or they don't eat any animal fat. Fat is a fuel source. It's a great fuel source, actually. And that's where ketosis comes from. We've all been hoodwinked, and literally Dr. Lustig and the group at University of California at San Francisco has the records of old closed sugar companies that I think the woman's name is Dr. Christian Kearns with a K, Christian and Kearns, both with Ks. She was a dentist, and she discovered this trash, this treasure trove of documents in a closed sugar factory. And they proved that they paid Harvard folks in the 50s, to say that sugar's good and fat is bad. Okay. And it was just wrong. It was just a lie, to be honest with you. So yeah, anything that has to do with keto, measuring the ketones, the role I believe it plays in sugar addiction recovery, I think is paramount. I think it's just super important, super important. And I can't stress it enough. I didn't want to choose sides in the vitriol that is the vegans against the carnivores, or vegans against the keto folks, or the vegetarians against the keto. I think it's all BS. I've spoken with the best vegetarian, the most famous vegetarians. You can't name one that I haven't had on the show, from Neil Barnhart to Michael Gerber to Conrad Esselstyn. I've had them all on. Joel Furman, all of them, Katz, all of them. And every one of them says to a man that ultra processed carbohydrates and sugar are bad for you. Now, they have obviously a different idea. Gabriel Cousens, who's a friend of mine. And, I think the success that the early vegetarians have is that they eliminate the ultra processed carbohydrates and they get a benefit. Okay. I personally was a vegetarian, and I think a lot of damage was done to my body in that time period. I could tell you story after story after story after I gave it up. And I had been sugar-free for 25 years, no flour, no sugar, no caffeine. So yeah, I would suggest understanding what your keto readings, your ketosis readings are. Awesome question. We've got about 6 minutes left. Who's got a question? Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Very important. Whether you're on Instagram, Facebook. Can you recommend a current favorite book that would encourage others to get on board with a sugar-free lifestyle? Yeah, mine. No. The Last Resort Sugar Detox. You can get it at sugaraddiction.com or on Amazon for free. Or Yeah, there's others, but they have little nuances. They really do. They have little nuances of, how should we say, uh, different ways to do it. I mean, we don't weigh and measure food, right? It's not a thing with us. So there's little nuances that each group does that is a little different each time. So I wouldn't, you know, I don't. We have what we call runaways, Sharon. It's interesting, actually. We have runaways from every program and every way of diet change on the planet, from bariatric surgery to 12 steps to I won't name my competitors, or and I don't think of them as competitors, because I think that most of them who ascribe to no flour and no sugar are doing a great job. But I believe we're just a little bit further ahead of them in the long-term experience of their diet and our diet, our way of eating. I started this thing out trying to not name a diet. My first coach was a vegetarian, and she's still successful to this day. And Gabriel Cousens, who's one of the most famous raw food vegans in the world, he's very successful, but he basically eats a raw food, raw vegan keto diet. He only eats greens and fat, avocados and olives. That's it. He doesn't eat anything else. Like he's done dark field microscopes and blood tests for 40 years, and he has settled upon a dark leafy green and avocado and olive diet. I said, Gabriel, that doesn't seem like enough calories for a 6 foot, 170 pound, 60 pound man. And he said, Michael, I don't eat for calories. I eat for energy. And so, yes, there's a lot of great books out there. I can't think of another one that I would, I'll tell you one that I would suggest that is coming out this year. It's Bitten Johnson's going to have a book come out. She's on our summit. And that book is the only one above my own that I would recommend as one that is like must read, just must read. A lot of what I call the body guys, meaning the folks who have for 100 years and continue to this day study sugar's effect on the body, weight, diabetes, whatever. But they don't include what we've talked about for a lot of this event here, is that they don't talk about the emotional, the brain, that kind of thing. I think they just don't. So, yeah. Guys, this has been an amazing time for our first event. You guys showed up, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have double the folks next week. And we'll really crush the, I want to lead this up to the summit. You can see it scrolling across the bottom. Just go to quitsugarsummit.com if you've never heard of us, and make sure that you have you just leave your name, and we will send you the event schedule when we're ready to go live, which is January the 6th. Okay. Don't forget, we will, that will help you out. And there's just Bitten, the lady I just mentioned, she's on there, and a lot of other great educators, Dr. Lustig and like that. All right. Come on, I'm trying to move that like and subscribe button one more time. Who wants to head us out by hitting the like and subscribe button? Okay, gang. I have really enjoyed this, you guys. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve you guys. I hope you guys, if there's anything you need about sugar, I'm at michael@sugaraddiction.com. And we've got another, 4 or 5 holidays, Mondays to go on this event. So you guys come back, and we'll talk to you next week. All right. Take care now. Bye for now.